So the news is finally in. After spending 30 years languishing in prison, Jonathan Pollard is finally going to be released on November 21st. He is going to be paroled, and you couldn't find a happier person in the world than Jonathan Pollard and his wife. And of course, all the people, all the Jewish people, everybody's excited about it. We've waited for this day for so long. Such an injustice. And I look at this back at the whole news story, and I tell you, it is with a mixture of confusion and sadness and probably a little bit of guilt, because I should have been more interested and I should have done more. But I found out in speaking to friends that most of us were like that. We should have written more. We should have cared more. We should have done more. We should have written about it and spoken about it more in public. And who knows, maybe that pressure would have done something, maybe not, but that probably would have been the right thing to do. And now I look back on the story, and of course I couldn't be happier for him. After all, so unjust it was. He's the man who is sitting in prison longer than anyone in history for admitting guilt to spying on a United States ally, Israel no less. Who would have thought that he could receive a life sentence and not get paroled until 30 years later? He's now 60 years old and in poor health, by the way. And he's been a model prisoner. But no matter. That's the way the justice system has served him. And I wonder, what is the lesson that we learn? What should we really be taking from this story? I look around the web, and let me tell you something. I was shocked. I want to see people's reaction to this story, and I was expecting people to be excited. I was expecting people to be happy, and maybe they are. But if you look around at the comments on all the websites, and you look around at the blogs and what people are writing about, it could make you sick. Because most people in this world, most people in this country, in the United States of America, fail to see the injustice. Most of the people are upset that he's coming out, and it is a lesson. The lesson to us is Israel stands alone. Yes, we have great help from the United States of America, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't appreciate what we get. But when it comes down to it, when it really comes down to it, we have to realize that the Jewish people throughout history has always stood alone. That's the way it was made. That's the way the world goes. And we have to remember that we cannot fully rely on anyone else. We have to stick together. We have to bond together because we are our own friends. That's it. We can rely to a certain extent and have a great amount to be thankful for to the United States of America and to other countries. But when push comes to shove, and when it comes right down to it, we stand alone. And I'm reminded of it when I read about the people's reaction to Jonathan Pollard's release. They are legitimately upset, they say. Is it legitimate to be upset after 30 years selling information to Israel about the United States? It's hard to believe, and it's very discouraging, but it is a stark reminder to us that we need to stick together because we've all we've got. Something to think about.